Hey, question real quick. How do you know how do you know when somebody truly loves you? Like genuinely. They genuinely love you, in a relationship. What's y'all equation? Like how do you quantify that? How do you come up with the answer to that? I'm asking because I seen this meme on Instagram, and it said when a person is willing to struggle with you just to build with you, that's love. And I thought about that. When a person is willing to struggle with you just to build with you, that's love. And it made me think because I thought back to like when me and my wife first started out. It was like I had a wall, dog. I had a wall. Man, my wall was so tall. It was like Supermax fed prison on Pluto, Mars, Saturn wall. It was crazy. Like I ain't want nobody getting close to me. And it was like that because I was surviving. To me, love at that point was a living term. That's a living term. And that's a term that I only had at that time for like my family, my mother, my sister, my nieces, my daughter. Like I didn't have that type of connection with anyone else at that time. But it was growing for my wife, and actually it was already there. It was there. My wall wasn't gonna allow me to say it. It wasn't gonna allow me to project it verbally because I take it that seriously. I take it that serious. Like love to me is like you don't just say that. You don't just say that. So it was one night. I don't know what we got into it about. I can't remember what it was, but it might have been one of my wall nights. It might have been something like that. I don't know. But I remember being in the kitchen at my house, in my grandmother's house at the time. I lived there. So I'm at home in the kitchen, and she's sitting there crying. Like she's standing up, she's looking at me dead in my eyes with tears, and she's crying. She like, you don't even understand when somebody's trying to love you. Somebody trying to love you right in your face and you don't even see it. And she walked out the house, left me in the kitchen. I was like, damn, that's cold. It was cold, but it was real. And then seeing this meme, because at that time, like I said, I was just surviving. I didn't see love. I didn't want to. I couldn't afford to at that time, I feel. But somebody else seen something in me that I didn't see. I only seen I need to make it to the next day. That's it. The next day. I'm just trying to make it to the next day. The next dollar. Like I need to get some money. Love is a living thing. I wasn't living. I was surviving. It was about survival so I could take care of my child by any means necessary. And love wasn't a part of that equation at the time. But it was going that way because I mean we had been rocking for a minute, some months, maybe a year. I'm not sure. Excuse me, but I just didn't see it. So fast forward to today, and I seen that meme. When a person is willing to struggle with you just to build with you, that's love. And it took me back to that. It took me back to that very moment in Berkeley, in a house that didn't have no heat. I ain't had no job. I ain't had no money. I ain't had nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it had to be love. That's all it could be. Because I ain't had shit. That's all it could be. I didn't have nothing. But I knew I wasn't going to stay there. I knew I wasn't going to, end there. But she seen that. And she was willing to do that. She was willing to struggle. She didn't have to be there. She had her own house. She had her own situation, her own life, her own kids. She was about to graduate college. Like, she had a lot of stuff going on for herself that actually didn't have to involve Ann at all. It didn't have to involve me at all. You know, with all the, trouble, not trouble, but all of the, just the weight and everything that I was going through at that time. Like, I was going through a lot. So it had to be love, man. It had to be. When a person is willing to struggle with you, just to build with you, that's love. This woman did her homework in my bedroom, with the heater, space heater on in the bedroom. The rest of the house is freezing cold. She didn't have to be there. She had her own house. But she was like, no, I'm going to stay here with you. Because I had to be there. You know, if you read between the lines, I had to be in that house. So I couldn't leave. It wasn't a part of the equation of doing anything other than getting money, other than surviving. I just hit my 30s, and I didn't know what was going to happen, man. I didn't. But I knew I was not going to be just nothing, just like in society, just floating and drifting, because I'd done it up until that point. But yeah, I don't want to be on here too long. It's already going on 7 minutes. I seen that picture and it took me back to that moment, and I just had to acknowledge it. That woman is amazing. So, I mean, it could be different for somebody else, but that's why I asked the question. What is it to y'all? Like, where does it come up? When do you know? When do you know? Like, oh man, this shit's serious. When do you know? Because when she walked out, that was some cold shit. Nobody had ever done that to me. That was cold. Like, I don't know, but it was dope though. Like, it had to happen. It had to happen. So yeah, when do you know that this is love? How do you know that that's love? Put in the comments, let me know. Let's see what we can have come up with to have a conversation. All right? Peace.